Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. Hi, hello, how are my beauties, my lovelies, my royalty? Let's grab some scorching hot patty tea. Oh, if you like it cold, hold the ice. Hold the ice. And oh, I am going to get so petty about the Oscars. Oh, because I was already going to do one about the arts and musicals and ballet, especially dragging my ex and, well, actually, a couple exes on that subject because they kind of have the same opinion as that one jerk who has um, that one athletic movie. Yeah, I'll never watch it, and I'll try my best not to watch anything he's. I don't know. It's like his answers are so. His yeah, yeah. I don't really. No, no, thank you. But this is all. This is a dating nightmare episode. So, and yeah, I just have to say, Miss Copeland, oh, that ballerina, oh, she had it. She was getting it. And she just had hip surgery. She was working those hips, honey. She was working those brand new hips like they were new red bottom shoes. She was just getting it. I loved it. Chef's kiss. I applaud so much. So, okay. But I told you guys that I'm going to be analyzing more of my ex's text messages once I was breaking up with him. And I think I do have a couple other cell phones, so I might be able to even go through some other times where I questioned his interior motives. And I think I do have proof of how he was trying to make me buy a house for him to live in, him and his daughters, which that would have never happened. Especially, I would have never let the youngest daughter in my house. She would not have been welcomed. If you don't know why, you need to catch up. I have over 600 episodes. But yeah, once you put bruises on me and kick, yeah, and do, well, yeah, I won't say everything. I'll just say go catch up. Go catch up, because if she did the stuff that well, if she was over the age of 18, or if she was 18 even, yeah, she would have gotten arrested a few times. Just like almost all of her daddy and all her nieces, or, well, not nieces and nephews, all of her aunts and uncles. Yeah, just like all of them. Yeah, yeah. Her grandmother laughed and bragged to me about how each of her children have been arrested. Yeah, yeah. Okay, but one message I will never forget is after I had it, and there's another video I'm going to do another episode on because I have evidence for days on this one. Because this guy in this video states that, like, if a woman repeats herself, she's trying to be heard, and she's, trying to, just, have her voice and stuff like that. And there's a couple other things that he said in the video, but then he said, once she goes silent, yeah, that's when it's the start of the end. That is exactly what happened with my ex and I. Because I've told you, like, throughout the episodes with different dating stories and dating nightmares and stuff, how I kept telling him, I'm not your receptionist. I'm not your mother, your maid, or anything. Like, I'm not your help, whatever. It's like, I call you because I care. I call you when you, like, each day after you get off work, because I want to know how your day is, how you're doing. And it's not like I just talk to you for hours or whatever. Sometimes it's only 5 or 10 minutes. And then I'm like, you know what? I talk to my honey. I know how he is. Hang up, finish my day. Sometimes it's like getting ready for work the next day, or like just working on whatever I gotta do. Seriously. So it's just Some of these men don't, they wonder why they're single, but then they do the things that they do. Because, yeah, I called him almost every single day. Almost every single day. And I would ask him, because he would only, because when I would tell him to call me, he was like, I do call you. I was like, no, you only call me when you need my money, my car, or my body. Or basically, if you need something from me. Yeah, that's the only time. The absolute only time he would contact me. And I would tell him, can you at least just call me sometimes? Call me sometimes when you don't need anything. Just because you care about how my day is, or especially when my mom was fighting cancer and I'm, helping, I'm cooking and doing stuff around the house, maybe saying how am I handling it? It's like, how did I handle the latest test results and like the decline and everything like that? Like, how am I doing? But no, he didn't, because he didn't care. He didn't care. Like, and it's funny, some men say they love you, but they don't even care about you. They don't even care about anything about you. And I know this for a fact because even at the end of the relationship, and I told him he didn't love me, he told me, you can't say that. Oh, well, babies, honey, sweeties. Oh, I'm going to be so petty. And I'm going to prove that he never loved me. I'm going to prove that all he wanted was what he could get out of me. Because at first we were just friends. Yeah, we were just, we were cool. We were friends, whatever. We met on a dating app, but then it's like, yeah, he was still in the middle of his divorce and everything like that. And, but then we both oh, he wrote me because I said that I love anime, and he says most girls don't know anything about animes or whatever, and he was like, okay, name 3 animes. And I remember reading the note, and I'm just like, who the crap does this jerk think he is? Like, oh, you think because I'm a girl that I don't know anything about anime or whatever? So, trying to think of which one. I think I mentioned Fairy Tale, Soul Eater, and Detective Conan. Oh, but then I went over that, and I had Inuyasha. Um, let's see. There's a Triple X. Does oh, I forgot the full name of it, but it's like this. It's like a full fantasy type of gig where this one character ends up. He's the only one that can see some of these characters, and like each one, something has to be resolved, but there's like just nicks and crannies throughout it in the spiritual world, because yeah, sometimes there's certain things that's going on within the spiritual world that's impacting other people and stuff. And then they made a part two, but the part two, like just like Soul Eater, there's Soul Eater 2, and they have nothing to do with each other. It's like they're like, what is this mess? Why did you say 2? Cause yeah, nope, take that, no, nah, you're good. Like, but anyway, so yeah, he said I didn't know anything about anime. Yeah, I know at least a little bit of something. I know I don't know tons and tons because, yeah, my parents were like, that's just for little kids. Why are you being young kid? Why are you trying to act like a. And I'm just like, okay, whatever, whatever, whatever. So, but yeah, that I guess he was so impressed because he was like, wow, you actually know more than just Dragon Ball Z and I think he said Sailor Moon. I'm like, yeah, don't play with Sailor Moon though. Sailor Mercury and Jupiter, yeah, those are my 2 favorites. So yeah, don't mess. But anyway, okay, like down below, you tell me which of the Sailor Scouts is your favorite and stuff like that. But yeah, it's like, so we were just friends at first, and we were both dating. It's like I ended up dating this one guy. I remember his last name was with a Z, And yeah, there are some guys where they were such a waste of time on purpose. I made sure to forget them as quickly as possible because, like, at first, I mean, I'm not going to say he love bombed me, but at first he was saying that he wanted a relationship, but then again I had an undiagnosed disability and it was starting to get worse, and I think he noticed that, and I don't think he wanted to deal with it, or he didn't want anything to do with me. And also, like, with me having two masters and everything, his mom adored me. His mom really adored me. But yeah, it's like yeah, I will never forget the day where I was at his house in the morning, and he like I was yeah, I was walking around the house because I think his I'm trying to remember what if his niece was there that weekend. She is so sweet and nice, and yeah, it's like her and I, we would read bedtime stories together, and a couple of times I made some up, and it's like I remember his mom would be like, "Who wrote that? Who's the author?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, that's I made that up." And she was like, "You need to write that down. You need to publish that. That is beautiful." And so, but yeah, she loved how like I was educated, and she, like, her and I, we would talk about our some of our goals, and she even told me about like some of the things she regrets about her marriage, or things that she wish she could have fixed and changed because she was divorced from their dad. And she did have some pretty good advice, I do have to admit. It's like, and that's why sometimes I'm like, if I could switch around some of the guys with the parents and everything like that, oh, yeah. It's like she would be one of the moms where I would be like, yeah, I want her as a mother in law. She is absolutely amazing, and just like there were times where he wasn't going to be coming over, but he would call and he's like, "Oh, my mom wants you to come over. She wants to it's like she said she promised she'll cook a big meal. You guys can talk while watching TV or whatever." And I'm like, "Oh, sounds cool." And like Mr. No Heart, whatever, he would be like, "Oh, are you coming over tonight?" No. And he would ask them, "What are you doing?" "Oh, do you have a date?" And I'm like, "Well, kind of." And he'd want more information, so then I tell him. He was like, "You'd rather do that?" Yes. Yes, I would rather do that. So, but anyways, I gotta back up because yeah, I found out, yeah. There was one morning where I was there, and like for breakfast and everything, and like he was getting the ingredients, and also checking, oh yeah, his niece was there. He was checking up on his niece or whatever. But then all of a sudden I felt something on each of my breasts. And I was just like, what? Hold up. Okay. He's really blunt today. But then I looked down, and they were feminine hands. And I was like, huh. Okay. Wait a minute. Like, cause yeah, there was just a pause, and I'm looking and I didn't want to just jump, or because I didn't want to hit, or I I didn't know how to respond. And so it was just kind of funny because all of a sudden, I'll just call him Z. Like he walks in the kitchen, and because I'm in the hallway, from the kitchen, and he kind of looks, and I think he was holding like the either pancake mix or whatever, but he's just holding it, putting it, then he puts it on the counter, and then he stops and pause and slowly turns his head like he's the poltergeist or whatever, and he looks at me and looks at my chest with his mom's hands on my chest. And then he looks back at me in the face, and he's like, "Mom, what are you doing?" They're so perfect. They're so plump. Oh my gosh, they were amazing. And oh my gosh, I'm just like, huh, huh, okay. And so he's like, okay, like leave her, like okay. It's like so. Anyways, like we go to the kitchen table and we're talking and chatting, and I mean it's a huge compliment. So, and at the same time, I know, yeah, she absolutely didn't mean anything bad or whatever and stuff. So, like, 'cause, yeah, we've hugged and all this other stuff or whatever. So it's like in the back of my mind, I'm just like, huh, she think like it was kind of like sorority life. It's like she sees me as a friend like that, like she could be that comfortable. So it's like I was surprised, I was shocked, but at the same time I'm like, huh, okay, I'll take that as a, it's like you see me as a friend, you see me as, like, yeah, like I said, like sorority sister, whatever, blah blah blah, whatever. More of a sorority sister than my actual sorority sisters, but anyway, yeah, I'm gonna drag them one. Yeah, actually, yeah, I have a few stories about them. Anyway, anyway, mm, let's see. So I know my ex, he kept asking like, "Why are you going over there? Why are you checking over there? Blah blah blah, whatever." And it's like with Z, is like he would, like throughout the week sometimes he would text me and call me, and or he would text, oh, can I call you, I just want to see what you're up to, what's going on, how are things going. Total opposite of No Heart. Because No Heart, no, it's like sometimes he would call and you think that's why he's calling, but then he was like, oh well, you know what, while I'm calling, can you go by the bank and like, okay, if you don't have like, like if you can, you grab, an extra 20 $40, because I'm gonna need some gas money, or I'm gonna, like, I really need some 420, or I'm gonna need, like, it was just to a point where it's just like, if that's all you called for, just call for that. It's like, if you can never call me, like, no, like, and so this is some advice to some people, because if you are one of those people and you only call people because you need something, yeah, because yeah, that gets pretty tiresome. And I think like one reason why some people have stopped calling me is because I'm tired of helping them. And so they know that sometimes, like, because I used to babysit for free, and like, oh, you need help with this. Oh, you need help with that. I got you. Oh, you need, like, you want to carpool with me when we go to this promotion. And oh, you like, yeah, just this, that, everything, whatever. I always try to, like, oh, you need a ride to a job interview? Yeah, I got your back. I want you to get that job. I did so much for my friends. But then whenever I needed them, crickets, crickets. And so then I stopped offering. And then once I stopped offering, they stopped caring, to the point where, yeah, now it's like I have my amazing friends. I have, it's like, and it's a few, but I love that few. And it's quality over quantity. And I have to remember that with dating in a relationship, because, yeah, I dated a guy for 7 years, and I was in a disgusting relationship with another guy for 5 years. Yeah, I wish I could take those back, because with Mr. No Heart, he couldn't even call me. And I'm probably going to do a part two, because you are not going to even imagine what one of the text messages was, that, like, and that's one reason why I'm talking about it, and I'm going to keep talking about it, because, yeah, some of these men wonder why they're single. And I hope he's not single now, but at the same time, if he hasn't matured, he does not deserve to be in a relationship. No. If he has not matured and learned from what he put me through. And oh, if he's still gonna try to blame his ex-wife, because guess what? He tried to blame his ex-wife. He tried to blame me and his ex-wife on why he treated me the way he did. But see, we were just friends. He told me he didn't want a relationship, and I said that's cool, whatever. Yeah, it was like we're watching anime together. We play some video games here and there or whatever, and we but were applying for jobs and like yeah, I I saw that we had some pretty cool things in common. And whenever he went on a date, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, what are you wearing? And I would root him on. And I think he was surprised by that because, like, I think some men didn't want to date me anymore because I'm not the jealous type. Some men who are like, oh, yeah, I don't want anything serious, or oh, I don't want to date, or oh, I just want to be friends. I'm like, okay, cool. But then when they go on dates, they're just like, oh, yeah, I'm going on a date, or oh, that date was so amazing, or oh, yeah, I took her back to my place. I'm like, oh, yeah, congratulations. I hope it was great, or I hope she enjoyed you as much as you enjoyed her. So, and um, Mr. NoHeart, I will never forget when he was trying to get me jealous because, like, he knew about Z and me going over there and spending time and stuff like that because he said we were not dating. He didn't want a relationship. He didn't want that with me. I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever. And so then because and some people are going to be like, how do you know he was going to trying to get you jealous? Because later on he told me in the kitchen in front of his oldest daughter that he was trying to get me jealous. Literally, his daughter was in the oldest daughter was in the kitchen. We were eating breakfast and he said this. And I remember the oldest daughter was started laughing because she was like, "Dad, are you like? Why don't you just ask her then?" And I was just like, "No, no, 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 no." Oh yeah, there's like yeah, I love breakfast anyway, so you're probably gonna hear a lot of breakfast stories. Yeah, I will never. I don't think I'll ever pass on breakfast, but anyway. So there was one like okay when he admitted it because it's because of this story. Because there was one night where I went to a no longer friend's 30th birthday party with Z. And I was at No Heart's house because I brought the dress and everything because I didn't want to get dressed at my mom's house because yeah, she wouldn't have wanted me to go out and oh it's a beautiful dress too, but she would have just yeah, yeah. So I remember the night before I put it in my car and stuff so that she wouldn't see it. But I got dressed, put on the makeup. I'm not perfect, so yeah, like ta-da, I'm a gray sheep. I don't get like especially when like or if you've listened to the episodes, you already know why I didn't want to. But it's like I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do any like I was just trying to go and support a birthday party and stuff. And so I went with Z and Mr. No Heart knew. And the next day he asked me how it was and I was like, it was really nice. And it was the next morning though, and I was at Z's house or whatever, and I was like, oh yeah, I think we were about to make lunch. I think breakfast already passed or whatever, but I was like, yeah, it's like, Z's mom ordered some like really nice ingredients, and so and I think she wanted to do maybe not a wine tasting. I forgot. She wanted to do some kind of tasting of a product, but it wasn't alcohol. I'm trying to remember what it was, but I can't at the moment. But it was a lot of fun. It was tasty. But it's like he was so upset. And so next thing I know, the next weekend, he's bragging to me that he has a really hot date with an Asian girl. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, like I hope you have so much fun. And I think it was Friday night. But Saturday night, he asked me to come over, watch some movies or whatever. And so next thing I know, he's bragging about this date and how he bent her over in his van and got to go to town on her. And I'm just like, well, did she want you to? It's like, as long as she wanted you to. I hope you had so much fun, and I hope you had protection because you already call your two daughters mistakes. Yeah, he already called them that by this time. And so I was just like, let's make sure you don't have another mistake, okay? Okay. I was like, if you do make a mistake, at least I'll probably be cute because remember what your mom says. But anyway, so he got upset that I was happy for him. I encouraged him. I was just like, well, it's like, are you going to ask her on a second date? And like, did you get her flowers? Did you get her anything? It's like, did you treat for like with the meal? Did you pay? And it's like, oh, what did she wear? It's like, what did you wear? And so it's like, yeah, I wasn't asking any questions that would make me look jealous because I wasn't. We were friends, and he said he didn't want to date me or whatever. And I was perfectly fine with that. But then the next morning, yeah, his oldest daughter was in the kitchen. And yeah, next thing I know, he's telling me to my face that, why don't you get jealous? And then I find out that's like the at least the second or third time, at least. Either because I know he went on other dates and stuff, and sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, make sure you spray your cologne here, like, and I like, or make sure you do this or whatever, blah blah blah. And I was like, ooh, have a freshly shaved head, and yes, like I told him, different things to, make sure he looked his best. And yeah, he didn't like that. He didn't like that. And he was telling me how most women would be jealous and upset. And guys, why do you want to date women that's going to get jealous and have attitudes? It's like, does that just make your egos bigger? Because sometimes I feel like you're idiots. It's like, instead of finding a stable relationship or finding a woman that loves and adores you, and someone who is faithful to you, and I don't know, it's just, but hey, do you, if you want the jealous type, if you want someone who was always gonna call, like, where are you, what are you doing, blah blah blah, whatever. Because when I call, I just call and say, hey, how are you, how's your day, blah blah blah. And I think that's one reason why he never called me, because I wasn't jealous. I called, I got an update, I saw how he was and how work was, and or how the kid, like him and the kids were doing, blah blah blah. And then I hung up because I have a life. I don't think he wanted me to have a life. I think he wanted to just be my life. I think he wanted everything I do to cater around him. Because again, every time he called me, it was about me servicing him, me doing for him, me providing for him. And to me, that's ridiculous. He never helped me. I, like, with my major surgery, was not there for me. After the surgery, not there for me. When my mom died, was not there for me at all. During the last weeks of her life, and I'm just going through a mental thing because I'm just like, I will never be able to, like, prove to my mother that I wasn't lying for all those years, because the pain was getting worse. My walking was getting much worse, and it was just to a point where I wanted to scream sometimes because of the pain. So, but yeah, he was trying to get me jealous. Trying to get me jealous. But yeah, I remember around my birthday, Z promised to take me out to a lovely dinner and things like that. But then he later admitted, because yeah, he tried to contact me like a few months later, that like with my walking, his friends kind of noticed that I walk differently. And his friends were like, she's hot, but don't you think you can, find someone that walks better and stuff? So, and one of them was just like, um her and your mom like each other too much. They get along so well. That's scary. And so yeah, see that, yeah, I mentioned that story for a reason, but it's like once they become friends, you'll never be able to break up with her. Thank you for listening to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. I am a woman, I am of color, and I am handicapable, but most importantly, I am human and you're human too.